My child, pay attention closely. I see you. I've watched the quiet struggles nobody else witnessed. The hidden tears you notion fell alone. I recognize the weight you carried, the instances you waited, endured, and selected religion even if it cost you the whole thing. There was motive in that unseen season, my loved one, and now that season is shifting. What changed into performed in secret is ready to be found out, overtly. Recognize this, the peace returning on your coronary heart, the joy being restored in your soul. It isn't always random. It's far my reaction. Stay with me, my treasured infant, for I'm about to expose you why everything you went through changed into worth it and what comes subsequent. You are now beginning to live as the one I usually knew you could be, my infant. You're on foot in the bright truth I keep for you right now. So I pose this question to you, my valuable baby. Are you continue to searching for approval from others? Or will you draw close that I've already granted it? Will you maintain returned from the lifestyles I provide you? Or will you step via the outlet I've prepared just for you? This specific day is always greater than truly every other day. It marks your passage throughout a threshold. Your holy commencement, the very immediate you flow completely into what I've for you. You did not undergo the one's tough durations merely to survive. You navigated those periods of difficulty so you may definitely flourish within the plentiful existence I have organized for you. That ability is ready now. That possibility is yours. And this adventure commences on this day. Step via the outlet. My loved baby, you are not simply being observed. You are being set in movement. This unique time indicates more than only a point inside the timeline. It indicates a spiritual awakening in you. It's farther on the spot, while the season of ultimate nevertheless gives manner to the season of moving forward. You are not simply deliberating my assurances. You're now moving immediately into their achievement. What changed into as soon as a quiet information shared among us? A wish nurtured by tears shed when you were by myself. A deep longing that brought on you to wonder if your awaited season would ever arrive. My beloved one. That season is unfolding for you currently. However, this is not just the solution to a request. It's further revealing of a deeper purpose to your life. This is not simply an arrival factor. It is a revelation of who you are. And you, my treasured infant, you are the displaying forth. Are you privy to my consistent interest upon you? Others will perceive beyond your deeds. They're about to stumble upon the individual I created you to be. How lengthy have you ever been in readiness for this unique time, perhaps without even understanding it? Every quiet second, every non-public trial that strengthened your internal self, each lesson found out away from the view of others. None of it was without reason. Those unseen intervals had been your sacred readiness. That is where you have been prepared. Everything built within you far from the eyes of others is now rising, now not with loudness, but definitely via your presence. Your selections will talk deeply. Your very being will modify the gap around you. Being near me is how you may be recognized. You have become a regular, robust, clear presence, one that does not want volume to be felt. Do you perceive how truly being yourself now communicates a lot for you? This is due to the fact you are now in concord with the manner I brought you into being. And whilst you surely recognize who you are whilst you are near me, the arena around you may shift to match. You're no longer trying to comply to beyond limits. You are advancing beyond them. You are not merely starting anew or turning a new leaf. You are transforming into something particular, something of super well-worth. And what is precise is no longer always easily comprehended with the aid of all of us. A few will include this person you are getting. Others may additionally hesitate, unsure a way to interact with a person they can now not easily categorize. And yes, some will depart. Why? Due to the fact transferring onto a course closer to me now and again manner positive connections will alter or lessen. And every now and then strolling this way involves feeling a diploma of aloneness. However, do no longer make yourself smaller to ease the soreness of others. This doesn't decrease the which means of this change occurring inside you. You're following the manner I uniquely prepared for you. This new route you are beginning, is probably loved, isn't always determined by way of the views of others. It's miles decided by means of dwelling from the internal truth and the goal I've set inside you. You're now released from the want to suit into old bureaucracy without a doubt to benefit reputation. There may be no purpose to move back to approaches of being that no longer suit you. Does it no longer exhaust you, my loved child, trying to make yourself smaller to occupy locations your inner being has handed? The only you are growing into has gone beyond the previous limits. The route before you requires the only you are on this second. This time suggests a deep alteration within you. The shift internal you is clear and others can experience it. The only you are now, led with the aid of inner understanding, discovering strength in quiet, owning a calm power. You aren't arriving too quickly. My loved one, you are exactly the one this second calls for. With this emergence comes a specific obligation. Your lifestyle's identical is not focused on fulfilling others. It's far now approximately following the direction that is totally yours. Can you get hold of this, my baby? That others may not absolutely understand you for some time as long as you live devoted to the reality I've placed within you. For the fact is, the time you felt turned into really a pause turned into now not without substance. It contained shape and intention. You were being made prepared, brought to finishing touch, prepared. And from this point forward, my baby, you may effortlessly appeal to what is authentic and fitting. This isn't out of your chasing after this stuff, but due to the fact the person your internal now resonates with them. You are now not searching for validation from external resources. You depend upon the internal fact I've located there. You are now not awaiting permission. You proceed in the paintings I have set before you. So, what comes next? Now which you have moved past this point of realization, how will you operate this internal power? You cannot cross back. Now not due to the fact others could reject you, but due to the fact your inner being now not fits in that vicinity. Into quiet isn't always placed in what is beyond. strength is observed totally on this gift time. At the present time is your holy pivot point. And on this shift, your inner power will begin to speak greater powerfully than anything you may say. The potential I set inside you, hidden for a long term, is now becoming seen. You are being diagnosed in places you haven't yet visited. The expertise I gave you is being remembered in areas where it turned into formerly overlooked, now not because you altered what I entrusted to you, but due to the fact you remained trustworthy to it. That is what I cost. Loyalty to the path I laid out for you, even when others are silent. And prefer those who came before you. Your times of quiet where you are making geared up, your practice, your gaining of know-how. Now that readiness is becoming a head motion, no longer steps pushed by means of passing enthusiasm or outside pressures, but steps springing up from being in harmony with me. This present day isn't always the instant so that it will offer explanations. Your time is now for genuine residing. You're meant to embody your direction, no longer merely talk of it. Realize this deeply, my baby. I orchestrate each step you take, each encounter you have, each door that opens. Nothing unfolds without my hand. This includes every step you'll take from this moment forward. So, my beloved infant, will you pause now seeking permission from others? Or will you move into the wide space I have made geared up? Will you cut back your authentic size to combination in? Or will you stand tall displaying the individual I created you to be? Will you spend time explaining yourself to folks who can't grasp it? Or will you hold shifting, letting the final results of your existence talk for itself? Your journey till now wasn't about finding an area to belong among others. It was about waking as much as yourself. The ones hard times you confronted weren't for living quietly. You moved through them so your mild ought to be visible. Stillness constructed internal firmness. Know-how showed you the manner forward. Your steps now lead you actively into the destiny I organized. You are living the tomorrow right now. Walk forward with certainty, my child. Flow with a quiet strength. You do not want anybody else's settlement. For the power stirring inside you needs no words to justify it. It virtually wishes to be shown. This time you are entering is extra than a simple alternate in pace. It smiles a full reshaping of your environment to match the deep transformation that has passed off inside you. This isn't a time for minor changes. It is an entirely unveiling. You now not make yourself small for others' comfort. You stand completely within the truth of who I made you, embracing the route I laid out. You don't want the paintings to earn attractiveness anymore, my valuable toddler. You surely fill the space that is yours. No longer with noise, but with calm actuality. You aren't hiding your light. You're developing. Filling the religious and bodily areas I've always stored equipped for you. Consider feeling you had to provide an explanation for your increase or justify how you've got modified. That need is long gone now. This is not simply a transient feeling. It's far a religious turning point, a sacred time, a divine waking up. And when sacred timing arrives, things are special. You do not want others' approval. You don't need a crowd following you. You do not need validation from those who did not apprehend earlier than. All that is wanted is your accept as true with and your readiness to walk where I guide. Will you embrace what is stirring within you, my infant? Despite the fact that it makes a few who were used on your quietness sense unsettled. This time is your moment. Will you step into it bravely? The path in advance will name you to locations wherein fear as soon as made you disguise, spaces wherein you moved cautiously. Those now require you to be absolutely gift. The components of your lifestyles you saved hidden because of worry are actually being stuffed with my presence, showing the genuine form of who you are. This presence isn't right here to damage you. It is right here to show you who you're supposed to be. You are not guided by way of fear. You are guided by means of the internal light of your cause, your path, the very heart of who you're. This inner power does not apologize for existing. It brings about exchange. Have you ever lessened your brightness simply to manage how others may respond? Have you ever quieted your fact to maintain a chunk that wasn't real? That point is over. Now, if your presence makes others uncomfortable, you do not pull back my light. You permit it be. Due to the fact the readability I've given you is more potent than their inability to comprehend it. Your readiness to observe me topics greater than their judgment. And the electricity inside you isn't always for displaying off. It's far for constructing. That is what my presence is doing interior you now. It will now not let you remain hidden. That is the kind of strength you deliver. And this energy would not apologize. It brings approximately exchange. The time in advance doesn't ask you to keep lower back, my loved toddler. It asks you to be completely present. It does not require you to be perfect. It calls for you to break through and be a part of it. The novelty unfolding doesn't question if you deserve it. It trusts that you recognize the worth I have placed inside you. The query is this. Will you wait until you sense completely geared up? Or will you flow ahead without a doubt due to the fact your internal knowing tells you, now is the instant? You don't need to see the complete direction ahead. You do not want an in-depth plan for future years. You without a doubt need to take the following step. The identical presence that carried you through your toughest times will lead you through your brightest days, my infant. I am not showing you the whole lot right now, however I am lighting fixtures the very subsequent step for you. This is sufficient. You are not moving ahead blindly. You're shifting with trust. Consider that I've already directed your steps. Agree with that the manner in advance become being made prepared at the same time as you have been locating healing. The tough stories you faced did not erase the future I deliberate for you. They organized you for it. Your suffering changed into no longer a wrong flip. It became a sacred making prepared. Being became a way become now not proof that you have been missing. It become proof that I used to be clearing area for something greater enormous. The entirety, my beloved one, sure. Even the stuff you discover tough to talk about turned into a part of my layout. Are you able to see now how being grew to become a way guided you onto a unique road? How endings cleared area for beginnings. How quiet instance is held deep, which means how sorrow delivered sacred know-how. How paths you failed to count on had been part of my plan. Isn't it clear now while you stop suffering in opposition to how matters unfold and truly agree with the motive at the back of all of it? Your identification isn't always determined in what prompted you ache, my infant. It's miles determined inside the new lifestyles that grew from it. And now you are not simply moving into a fresh day. You are entering into the full expression of the possibilities I placed in you. You are here to in reality be, not to perform for others. You don't want to pretend to be a person else. You need to absolutely step into the man or woman I fashioned you to be. And the course I have for you waits to be able to be inclined. So, will you step onto it while not having to see the whole thing in advance? Will you move forward while not having all of us around you to apprehend? Will you show up without having others to say you're okay? Due to the fact the direction in advance doesn't require the burden of your past hurts. Its simplest calls for the truth of the person you're now. There is no longer a want on the way to convince each person of your worth. The season for demonstrating your competencies is now whole. This time is absolutely with the intention to exist as your, my baby. And the life you honestly live will deliver extra than any phrases you ought to talk. The way you inhabit your days will communicate for you. You aren't merely shifting closer to something that would arise. You're stepping into the fact I supposed for you. This isn't always a query of whether or not it'll spread. It's far unfolding proper now. It is starting. So, allow go of reluctance. Do not diminish yourself and experience no obligation to excuse your presence. A fresh start is here. The way ahead is apparent. You are already moving along it. You're taking walks into an area you could best envision earlier than. A space of grace, of completeness. A future that no longer brings worry. Because it now resonates deeply as your rightful area. Are you able to sense this variation already, my cherished child? The path beforehand, even if its information are unknown, does no longer deliver dread. Why? As it consists of the very essence of the future I planned for you. Where you felt you did not fit in, you now experience exactly in which you belong. Where others once regarded disconnected or drained your spirit. Now absolutely everyone you come across holds significance and a sacred motive. Do you recall the times you felt held returned, my infant? While matters did now not take place as you was hoping, had been positive doors remained closed. You may have notion you were stuck or one way or the other less than others. But the moments were not me turning far from you, my precious baby. They had been deliberate steps I guided you through, each with a purpose. What appeared like an extended postpone was my safety, making things equipped for what become honestly for you. Now circumstances are poised to transport swiftly. As new opportunities appear, step via them with no trouble, my infant. Do no longer wonder why benefits come without conflict. You've been organized for this time. Enter these new openings with quiet self-belief. proportion your actual self without reservation. Be completely gift, even though a touch of uncertainty remains. This phase isn't always for demonstrating your abilities. It is for stepping into what I've already made prepared for you. This second is not only about new conditions, my loved one. It's far about you absolutely turning into the man or woman I created you to be. The grace I have located inside you isn't merely for look. It is meant to be energetic. The quiet time you waited. The moments you observed my course even if it was hard. Those experiences readied you. The sturdy desire you experience now isn't a void. It is the particular route I've for you, drawing you forward. What you express holds importance, my child. Greater than just the belongings you say, genuinely your presence, your internal self, shifts the environment round you. Wherein you are, things that felt stagnant begin to stir, matters that regarded lost, find life again. Do you consider feeling barely out of area, my cherished one? Such as you have been slightly out of step with others, even if they seemed comfortable. That sensation was now not a defect. It became an indicator which you were marked for awesome direction. You were not intended to vanish into the crowd or merely reproduction others. This adventure isn't approximately gaining extensive popularity, my infant. It smiles about ultimate trustworthy to the purpose I put inside you. This new segment requires a unique manner of transferring. You are not rushing to hold pace with anybody else. You are walking at the velocity I set for you. There may be no need to degree yourself towards others. Have a good time, the awesome man or woman I created you to be. Launch the conflict. Now could be a time to obtain. And receiving is not sincerely waiting. It is actively creating. You're completed with requiring validation from others, my liked. You're not looking for others' approval. You're moving into a position of admire that belongs to you inherently. You are not just welcomed. You're seated in an area of true have an impact on. You do no longer want to act like all of us else to walk inside the electricity I have given you, my child. The awesome man or woman I created you to be is all this is needed. Your inner resilience is sufficient. Your true voice is adequate. On this time, the light inside you may be received with appreciation, not doubt. What you have to mention will not be silenced. Others will need to listen. Just by means of current as yourself, you will remodel the sensation of the areas you occupy. Others will understand your presence, even if they can't call the shift. This second marks your coming forth, my treasured baby. It is when your lifestyles fully fits the cause I set interior you. What regarded disconnected is now unified. You'll feel this alteration deep inside you. This fact is not something